Hello everybody, and today I want to kind of put my hat into the whole Black Myth Wukong Screamrant review controversy. I don't know if put my hat is what people say, but it's what I'm going to say. And yeah, if you're not aware of this, basically the a lady who reviewed Black Myth Wukong removed points or took points away from the game because it didn't have diversity, and was complaining in her review that the game didn't have any or enough women in it, which is just insane. If you don't know, Black Myth Wukong is a game about Journey to the West. It's basically like a Souls-like type game, or Souls-light, I suppose you call it. A little bit of a Neo, God of War 2016 kind of hack and slash game with elements of a Souls-like. I guess, yeah, it's a bit of a... Neo is the best description, I suppose. Kind of, yeah, Neo meets kind of like Jedi Survivor type of thing. But that's besides the point. You know, the whole point I'm making is it's just a game where you're playing as the Monkey King fighting demons, basically. You know, that's all it is. There's nothing else to it. But this person seemed to think that, you know, not having any diversity in it, you know, or not ticking boxes is a bad thing. And I think this is the real issue, I think. You know, I want to kind of talk about two particular points, really. First of all, the whole diversity and inclusion aspect of it, and then just kind of game journalism and the state of it at the moment. And obviously, when it comes to the whole, you know, diversity aspect of it, that in and of itself is not an issue. And, you know, game developers, if they choose to want to put these things in, it's fine. But then, like, harassing developers, having a go at them for not having these things, and taking this kind of checkbox or, you know, checkbook approach or whatever, I don't know, tick approach, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. But basically thinking you need to hit these certain things to try to, you know, hit the diversity or like have the correct amount of diversity in your game is just ridiculous. You know, that's not really how it works. Either someone who has interest in this and wants to do a game about a particular thing or give a particular perspective, or not. And the truth of the matter is, you know, it's a very corporate look at it. You know, you look at the whole Sweet Baby Ink thing. It's like they've created this kind of firm to kind of you know, give them ideas and stuff. Because they want to do the bare minimum, really. They create a firm to tell them, what can we do to tick the boxes for diversity? As opposed to, like, you know, actually giving people from these backgrounds a chance in the game industry, which is kind of the real point. Because they don't want to really address the point they do this. It's a very kind of corporate capitalist take on it, really, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's not really addressing the issue. And that's always the issue with, you know... I don't usually talk about this thing, but this is one of the big issues with capitalism as a whole. All it does is it creates markets. It doesn't ever solve problems, or it can't solve problems in a way that isn't market or economic based, and that's kind of the issue. You know, that's why it's never going to solve this diversity thing. So just like, you know, adding a female main character doesn't solve diversity or whatever, does it? Because that's not what the issue is, or what people have issue with. It's that people aren't given the same opportunities as certain folks, really, isn't it? And still then, ultimately, I think from a gamer's perspective, all we want is good games. And like, if you guys are just gonna, you know, you view everything as committee think, you're not gonna get great games. That's why a lot of, I think, Western game devs have sort of fallen so far behind. When you look at the AAA space anyway, they take this checkbox or, I keep calling it checkbox. I don't even know what the term is, but you know, they take this kind of box ticking. That's what I'm trying to say. They take the box ticking approach where they're trying to just appease everyone. You know, I think there's this saying. It's like if something's made for everyone, it appeals to no one or something, and that's kind of, I think, the point I'm trying to make here. And you know, if you want to, you know, I think. If you care about diversity or whatnot, then the people complaining about it should maybe get into gaming. A lot of the people who we see, like some of these game journalists and stuff who complain about these things, like what, I know it's not easy, but really, you could make a game about that. We see this a lot in the indie scene, I think, and that's why they're a lot better, where you'll see more like game developers from different backgrounds making games from different perspectives, and that's really cool. And it's not done in this way like, look how cool we are, we made a female main character, or whatever it would be. I mean, that seems to be the trend right now, isn't it, with Western game devs? Like, I think Microsoft had their showing, and basically every game they showed had a female main character. It's like, it's got to the point where having a male character now would be the diversity, wouldn't it? Or would be the exception. But yeah, I mean, either one is fine. I don't have a problem with either one, like I said. And I obviously, you know, the problem with this subject as well is you can't really talk about it without, you know, the stigma from the anti-woke people as well, who are crazy, let's be honest. And I don't fall into that camp or the opposite, really. There's always a middle ground with things. And I don't think any of these people understand that middle ground either. Because, like this, again, the discourse on this whole thing, the Black Moth Wukong thing, I'm seeing people online, they're either one camp, the other, they're either the anti-woke guys, or they're just defending this person. And the real discussion is, why does diversity, or why should the lack of diversity impact a score of a video game? It's a stupid fucking metric to judge a game on, and it's something that has no place in the game industry or gaming as a whole. Okay, regardless of, you know, wherever you lie in the political spectrum of it all. And you know, I don't think we need to constantly over fucking politicize all the shit in gaming. You know, it really, it's not that necessary. You know, like I said, just seems to be this type of, you know, this brings me on to the game journalists themselves now, where it seems like a lot of this, like, I don't know, it's sort of this post-Gamergate stuff now, where they realized we can get a lot of clicks talking about this stuff, talking about this diversity stuff now. And, you know, so it seems like they've made a choice to hire people who I think have just lived on social media and Twitter in particular. And they don't actually understand the nuance of these things, and you know, they're very much more left-leaning, and you know the kind of people I mean, the ones who will tell you you're a terrible person for buying Hogwarts Legacy, for example, you know. And I mean, I think I can't remember where I saw this, but I just remember seeing a thing, someone who was I think they just did work as a game journalist, because I don't think people realize a lot of these game journalists their job is kind of shitty. I think they were just like a freelance writer or something, and they said they were asked in the interview a load of questions about diversity and stuff, and where they're lying on this stuff. And you know, if they saw it as really important, then they were going to get the job essentially. And they said that it was ridiculous. What the fuck has it got to do with gaming? That's kind of one of the key things with the whole game journalist thing, especially like I said, mainly the American and Western outlets anyway. I mean, because that's the only perspective I can give, being from England and the West myself. But yeah, a lot of these guys, it's like they don't even like gaming, or they hate gaming. And you can tell a lot of these people aren't actually like gamers. You know, it felt like back in my day, when I was younger anyway, you know, pre-Gamergate, I suppose you could say, or around that time, a lot of these guys, they were just gamers, you know, and they would give a interesting perspective. They wouldn't just talk about, you know, the politics, wherever they lied, or wherever they lay in the political spectrum. You know, they wouldn't go on about unnecessary stuff, you know, and they would just talk about games. And it's not necessarily just about politics overall, but it just feels like it's just where everything's gone online now, where it's more important to get clicks and attention, as opposed to, you know, wanting to write something decent or give a good analysis on something. Because let's be honest, the thing is, these sites, they run these ads, they need to get attention, and that's how they get their money, you know, clicks. So we've got to that point now where they've kind of figured out that they get more attention doing something batshit insane. Like, I still remember there was an article IGN wrote where someone was complaining about, I think it was the theme song in Persona 5 having a a slur in it or something. Like, I think they were trying to make out it use the R word, you know, a ableist slur or something, or disabled slur, you know the one I mean. And then there was also the Shin Megami Tensei 5 review from IGN, where they were complaining that the game wasn't Persona 5, which is like the most batshit insane shit I've ever read. Like, do some fucking basic research. And the problem is, these guys, they'll complain about this. And then when they get some pushback, they'll go on about, I mean, obviously it does happen. These people do get some harassment, which is insane. But they'll talk about how, you know, they're getting too much harassment from people. And I think they're just probably, these people are probably just a little soft and just can't handle any criticism. And then, yeah, that Persona 5 one was really funny, because I remember there was a Persona YouTuber who did a whole video defending this person. And in the video, they actually said, I was at dinner with this person. It's like, oh, so you have a working relationship. So, you know, you complaining about, so you're going to be on this person's side, basically. Like, I mean, that's a whole, sorry, I'm making a whole different point there. As you can tell, I just kind of like riff and stuff, don't I? Yeah. It's really funny because I did a video and someone got a really funny comment where someone was like, bro, please write a script. It's like, no, I don't do that. That's not how I do things. I just kind of like to talk and give my thoughts, really. Kind of raw, I suppose. But yeah, I think, yeah, ultimately the point I'm making is that, you know, I really feel like, you know, long term, these game journalists are going to do a lot of damage. You know, they're going to be able to get the clicks, but from a few people online. But ultimately, no one's going to trust any of their reviews on things. Like, it definitely feels like they're becoming more irrelevant over the years, you know. Because, and this is all they can do now, is have these kind of like ridiculous reviews and stuff that gain attention. Like, taking points away for the lack of diversity in the game, or, you know, just making ridiculous claims about games and stupid articles about things that have nothing to do with gaming. Because obviously now we see that, you know, YouTubers, big streamers, they all get the early access. So, you know, these guys don't even get early access anymore. Yeah, they may get the day a review out or whatnot, but, you know, I think a lot of people, they just kind of, mainly they just look at the review score and they don't even care about the actual review. And then they'll go to whoever the YouTubers they watch and kind of get their review instead. And yeah, this is all they have now, really. All of this kind of getting rage bait clicks. That's it now, isn't it? But yeah, I think they're really going to have to seriously look at themselves and think, is this what we want to do? You know, obviously there's a lot of money involved in the higher ups. It's probably what they demand. But, you know, I think they need to kind of, you know, get out of this weird echo chamber and start looking at, you know, what their jobs are, which is talking about games. You know, a game review, in my opinion, should just be, you know, giving a informed opinion or informing a purchase. That's your job as a game journalist or an early reviewer anyway. You know, it's not about what chip you have in your shoulder and complaining about pointless shit. It's just, all we want to know is, should I buy this game day one or wait for a sale, or is it for me or isn't it for me? And if you can't do that, you failed at your job. So, you know, get your shit together. But yeah, anyway, I don't know where this video is really going. That's all I pretty much have to say. But yeah, if you found this video, you know, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Yeah, try to keep it civil as well. Yeah, I don't want another Star Wars Outlaws kind of situation. Where let's see, I did this video on Star Wars Outlaws and I got a bunch, I mean, it was a bit mean-spirited, and I got a bunch of bloody, like, hate comments on it. I don't want any of that, guys, all right? I mean, you're free to say what you want. I don't care, but keep it civil and don't be too mean, guys, all right? Anyway, have a great rest of your day, and hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.